Move into the secondary, and there's so many people, and you heard Coach Rule talk about it in that video. There are so many people right now in the secondary that we have to split this into position groups. And we'll start with the cornerbacks here. And I think we counted up, there was 12 listed. Tommi Hill, we had him listed last week as wide receiver. And we even said on the show, we think we screwed up. We think he's a defensive back, and we just had him erroneously listed there. And that we still got comments from people, which basically just tells me people don't watch this. They see one thing and then they just start commenting. It's like, good grief. I typed it out.
Everybody's watching this right now. Remember, Honky said that Rule's nixing the walk-on program.
There you go. Yep. Tommi Hill is listed as a corner here. Now, as I say that, I went to the Huskers website today, and he is still listed as a wide receiver on their roster on the website. But again, this is pre-spring stuff, so don't get too worked up one way or the other. He might be a DB, he might be on the offense, who knows. But we start from the top. Omar Brown, senior, 6'1", 195. He was the transfer from a year ago from Northern Iowa. Braxton Clark, senior, 6'4", 195. He's going into his 13th year at Nebraska. Tyreke Johnson, senior, 6'1", 180. He was the transfer from the 5-star transfer from Ohio State a couple of seasons ago. Really, we haven't seen much from him.
Stuck around, though.
He stuck around. I mean, I'm to be quite honest, I'm surprised that he is still on this list just because of how little we've seen from him. But who knows? Maybe, again, getting seen by a new coaching staff. Maybe this is there was talent in him to make him a 5-star at one time and to be recruited by Ohio State. We'll see what happens. Quinton Newsome, that dude's been solid. Senior, 6'1", 180.
Yep.
And now we get to the juniors. Tommi Hill, he was the transfer a year ago from Arizona, 6 foot 200. Javier Morton, junior, 6'2", 195. Malcolm Hartzog came on big time last year as a true freshman. Real shocker, too. Sophomore, 5'9", 170. Tamon Lynum, sophomore, 6'2", 180. And then we get to the freshmen. DeAndre Barnes, freshman, 6 feet 175. He was the one from Colorado that I think Satterfield gave the story about how he was just driving by the school and stopped by and said hi to the head coach, and that's how we made the connection to get him. Weren't even recruiting him at the time. Dwight Bootle II, freshman, 5'10", 170. He's been committed to us for 13 years. He's the younger brother of DiCaprio. And then Ethan Nation, freshman, 5'10", 160. He was committed to us at the All-Star game, one of those hat ceremonies. And then I hope I say this right, Syncere Safeeullah, freshman, 6'2", 170. Safeeullah. So that's a big group there, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got multiple spots there where you've got guys who have played a lot and even started, right? Braxton Clark, Quinton Newsome, Tommi Hill, and Hartzog probably have all started. I guess. I mean, maybe Hartzog didn't start last year, but he played a lot.
Yeah, he had some great interceptions last year, and he was.
Yeah, and then you throw in, someone like Omar Brown who's playing. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of depth here and a lot of names. Yep.
Yeah.
Names and size. I mean, you've got Hartzog's a 5'9" corner, and you've got Braxton Clark out there at 6'4". So there's a lot of different body types there. I mean, this is a lot of names. I'm just going to go back to what Coach Rule said in that video clip. There's a lot of dudes in the secondary here. I've never seen 12 scholarship cornerbacks. So one thing,
and this is where you think a few people transfer out right by the end of spring ball or over summer, right? Geesh.
Well,
you would assume there'd be some attrition, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would think some attrition, or is there ways to move guys around a little bit? Is there, is one of these corners, could they play safety? Could a safety move up to outside linebacker, in a role, or could somebody switch over to the offensive side like Tommi Hill? And the other thing is, at the very end of this discussion tonight, we're going to talk about special teams. There could be places for these guys to fall into those roles too. To me, it all starts with Quinton Newsome. I mean, that's your stud guy returning. He's the guy that's going to be the lockdown corner, hopefully on day one. I don't feel like we never really got to see Omar Brown last year. There was some hype of him last offseason. He was here during spring ball, but I think some injuries and just didn't see him, get to play as much last year. And so that's someone I'm really interested in. I still like Clark. I mean, Clark has been I have these visions. I'm an old guy, so I have these visions of like when Michael Booker was out there, big, long, long armed corner that, could drape a guy and just, cover the tall receivers that you're going against, at 6'4". I mean, that's a different type of body style. And he's got some quite a bit of practice under him, quite a bit of play time. So, if he can get out there, I think Hartzog, Newsome, that's a solid starting three. And kind of fill in around that.
Yeah, and Tommi Hill has got experience there too, right? I mean, struggled a little bit at times, but also can make plays. So, yeah, I mean, I think you should be able to find 2 starters plus 2 backups out of this group, no doubt about it.